Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting edition of Omnibroslive here on a Thursday night. It's your boy Gio here telling you that the Inhumans need an omnibus. Please let Marvel know. If you are a comic book fan, you got to pass on that information to Marvel, please. I am joined by William T. Dustis back at the saloon.
Wait, I just updated because I'm not at the saloon.
Oh, you're not at the saloon. Sorry. We moved from the saloon, but Willie's here. That's exciting. 2 weeks ago, we had a little hiccup with the YouTube bosses, but none of that this time around. Don't worry about it, guys. We're good. We got people in the chat as always. That's great. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It's Omnibroslive. We are, of course, going to talk about all the manga stuff. We got some news, some first impressions, some recent reads, maybe some hauls, all that fun stuff. Before we get started, let me remind you that this show is sponsored by the fine folks at In Stock Trades, your home for all things collected editions, whether it be an omnibus, trade paperback, hardcover, manga, treasury edition, box sets, I don't know. You find it at instocktrades.com with great deals that range from 42 to 50, 60% off at times. Sales all week long. If you make an order of $50 or more, you get free shipping. And if you make multiple orders week by week, you get that sweet loyalty discount that adds an extra 2% to your order. We call that the loyalty discount. Of course, let me remind you that on the last Monday, we got the $50 gift card giveaway open to anybody out there. You just got to show up, participate in the chat on that Monday stream, and you're in the running for a $50 gift card, courtesy of our sponsor, that's InStockTrades.com. Fantastic customer service, wonderful packaging. We love them. You guys do as well. Go check them out. IST. Take a look here real quick at the top sellers, as I usually do. And the new releases, of course. Why not? Some of the new releases, including the Batman stuff and Joe Fixit. So Hulk and Batman this week. Go check it out, guys. 50% off. That's pretty sweet, if you ask me. InStockTrades.com. All righty. Welcome, William Dustis. How you been doing?
Dandy.
Yeah, we're not going to go too into detail, but you had an eventful last week, so you couldn't be here.
Yes.
But did you haul anything cool from last week?
Yeah, you go ahead and start.
All right. I did make an order. Shoot. All right. So I found this at my local Walmart, which is a sweet spot lately for manga. And I do have some good news. I think all of you are going to be happy with what I'm going to talk about if I don't drop this thing here. Oh, my gosh. Okay. So at Walmart, I randomly browsed the other day. I think, I don't know. I think it was Friday. I picked up the JoJo 6251 art book and all that fun stuff. Did not expect to see that there. And even though I don't collect the manga, I still love the art and I love the characters. And I do watch the show, the anime adaptation. So I at least wanted to own one of the art books. And it's pretty cool to get it in English from the folks at Viz, friends of the show. So, yeah, really happy about this. Haven't browsed through it yet. Just a quick glance at everything. Looking pretty snazzy. And I'm happy about it. That's the only thing I hauled, unfortunately. I do have some packages coming, but they have not arrived as of this stream here.
Yeah, next stream we do is going to be the stupidly large haul stream because I was always complaining to Gio before we started, 4 Right Stuff orders shipped at the same time for some reason instead of being staggered. So they're all going to arrive at once, and that kind of screws with my reading schedule because I usually my thing is I try to read everything from one order before the next one comes in.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna have 40 books all coming at the same time, and
that's a cool problem to have. I'll be honest with you.
It scares me because I have been working for I've been working on clearing my to read pile for the past couple years, like constantly playing catch up, and I currently have like, what was it, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 recent releases that I have to read, and then just 2 old releases. Old releases being stuff from like last year or
Yeah.
earlier. And it used to be like, I'm not exaggerating, but like 200 books on the shelf next to me of older releases. And over the past, basically since I think February, I started being really like trying to seriously catch up on everything, because I was like, I can't keep doing like maintaining this, because I'm literally just buying things out of habit without actually reading them at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I got caught up, and again, now I only have 2 older releases, and I'm worried that when 40 books come at once, I'm going to be like, I'm going to fall behind again, because that's insane. Anyway, I have. All right, so I went to a small local convention, honestly against my will, this past weekend. I was dragged into it because it was a
favor.
yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Let's say that it was a favor. I had the most fun that I could with it, but that was why I was unable to be on the show last weekend, or last Thursday, because the convention started on Thursday. Even though technically the convention, like the people who run it, they were supposed to open everything Thursday, but Thursday there was like only maybe 25%, if that, of the entire convention was actually ready and open.
Yikes.
Yeah. So anyway, I did find some stuff at this small local convention. I've got some manga here, of course. Here's a volume of Flowers and Bees by Moyoko. This is volume 7. Yeah, volume 7. So I've been slowly tracking these down, and the guy that worked at the shop that had that had no idea what it was, and he's like, oh, like he said it in a way where he was like, I've never heard of that. What is that? And then it took me a second to say something, and he goes, oh, do you not know what it is either? And I was like, no, motherfucker. Like, it's about like it's a series by the wife of Hideaki Anno, the creator of blah 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 blah. And she's a really intriguing creator herself, and anything she does is usually worth checking out. Anyway, got a lot of volumes of Jack Frost from the manhwa from Yen Press. There's volume 1, volume 2, and I know that I have a couple volumes of this, and I probably double dipped, but my dumb ass, this is like the only series that I don't have in my notes, as far as like my incomplete series notes.
Yeah.
So I probably double dipped on at least one volume here, but here's volume 3. Here's volume 4, but these are like in general hard enough to find that I was like, I should grab them regardless. Volume 7 and volume 9. So hopefully
you can always trade down the line.
Yeah, I'll figure something out. I'm pretty nonplussed, I guess, about that situation. And also, all of these were 20% off. So the store that sells, they're not a local shop. It's a place called Anime Pavilion, and they've been at like every convention I've been to. They were at this one. They were at Anime Expo. They were at C2E2. And I think they were also at San Diego Comic-Con. So like they travel around.
Yeah. Got a question here for you from a roguish type.
One about her husband. Hold on. I forgot the title.
Also, shout out to everybody in the chat. Sorry, I haven't been highlighting comments. I'll get to you guys in a second.
Insufficient Direction.
So insufficient. Okay, got it.
It's literally like her talking about how weird Hideaki Anno is, and like what it's like to be married to him, because he is such a strange person. Anyway, of course they had a Kotobukiya booth as well, because there is a Kotobukiya local here about 30 minutes away from where we live. And And I've been wanting to get this. I couldn't find it when I was at AX, but the Slam Dunk movie art book. I haven't opened it yet, but I'm glad I found it. And the special edition Yu Yu Hakusho issue of Shonen Jump. So they did this with Slam Dunk last year, and then they did it this time. It's like a top 10 chapters or something that they put together. So both of those, I think that's all the books that I got. This was my big purchase, the Tokyo Manji Gang.
Awesome.
Jacket. I'm not going to show the back because it does have the manji, but I have a few months before it's going to be the weather to where I can wear this because it's pretty warm. It's got a it also has a removable hood that I have removed, so I can show you. But it's got all the stuff on it. It has the manji on the back. I'm going to either paint the manji into like a box with a cross in it, or I'm going to peel it off because while myself and Gio, and I'm sure all, if not most, of our audience watching knows it is a very different symbol that doesn't look exactly like the one that we don't want it to look like, but it looks
but
that it confuses a lot. It will confuse most people, and they will immediately associate, and I don't want the association.
You might get in trouble with certain people around. Just saying.
Yeah, and it's a lot easier for me to just either censor it, edit it, cover it up, something, than to have to explain it or like have people pointing fingers behind my back if I'm walking around with a leather jacket on with a, seemingly swastika on the back,
Yeah.
I got a flag. Oh, Captain, my captain.
Yo, nice.
So I'll put this up at some point. I had just thrown it in the dryer to see if I could like get the wrinkles to fall out because I can't find the our steamer. I tried to iron it, but I was too afraid of using the iron and it being too hot. And like burning it. And so like I tried to put a towel over and like iron through the towel, but then it wasn't hot and like it wasn't reaching the heat, the steam was not reaching it. And then I put it to a low setting and started ironing it, and it did a little bit. So I don't know. I'll either like find a steamer or experiment with it, but before I hang it up, I want it to be completely, crease
wrinkle free.
Exactly.
Nice.
I got Godzilla poster.
I'm jealous. You showed me this. I've known about this poster, and I'm super jealous. So that's my favorite Godzilla poster.
This one and the Biollanthe poster are my two favorites, and I just need to get a good frame. Excuse me, for that one, and then I'm going to put it up, probably next to the TV and all the movies and stuff. And then I got some shirts. I have 3 that I can show here, and then I'll have to lift and I have to.
Oh, we're getting a show, lady. Oh, sorry. Continue.
Where's that T-shirt guy?
Yeah, right.
So I got Loop on the Third shirt.
I'm jealous.
And I got a B-Stars shirt that I think I was wearing last night actually on the show. It's this color, like a lavender, and it's just got like the main cast on the front. And then it was a buy 3 get 1.
I wonder if I wear a B-Stars shirt, people will say a furry freak, like that guy insulted me on the YouTube. Anyways, continue.
And then the other 3 I got were 3 Junji Ito shirts. So here's this one. I was trying to get. There was a one-piece shirt that I really liked, but they didn't have it in my size, so I just got 3 Ito shirts because it's about to be spooky season, and I figured,
Oh yeah.
Here's the.
Are we gonna do a spooky video for spooky season? When is spooky day? Hold on. It's on a Tuesday. Son of a bitch. Oh, that Remina, that's dope. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone have like a Remina shirt before, so I was like, that's cool. I should get that one. Anyway, that is, I believe that's everything I hauled, except for a End of Evangelion poster that is already hanging up, so I'm not.
Yeah. We got 4 shows in October, so I'm gonna try and make them Halloween themed for everybody. Every week, I'll find Halloween themed things to talk about, and maybe review some spooky books. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's a long way from there, so hang tight.
I'm gonna put these things away.
James, thank you for joining. Javier?
I have a couple of non-con items that I can show as well.
Yay. Brave and the Boys, thank you for joining, brother. Appreciate it. H Field, Jaime. Hello, everyone. Besides Black Clover, it's been a slow week for manga news. I got three interesting news to talk about today, and the what we've been reading, some first impressions, all that fun stuff. We're gonna get started in a few minutes. Yesterday was funny when Omnibus was talking when he didn't know y'all were live. I wasn't on. I was so tired. I sat on the computer. I tune in to see what the hell you guys were talking about. And all I see is slander on freaking Serial. I'm like, what the hell's going on in this show? So I participated in the chat, and immediately after I got done with the thumbnail, I'm like, I'm out. I'm super tired. So I went back to sleep. So I had no idea. Jess, was it Jess that tricked you into going live without saying anything?
Yeah, I was telling him about a D&D campaign and like stuff that I had done in the campaign, and he just went live without saying it. And so I was wrapping up I was wrapping
awesome.
the story, and I finished, and then he said something about, we're live, and I was like, what? So we saw the end of the story. Basically, they thought that I was like murdering a child or something.
That's awesome. I mean, that's whack. I see you all are going to make history tonight. We're talking about history's Mentalist. Gio, if you want also to make history about buying Mario Party live tonight, that's a tall order, my dude. I don't know. I got I got 4 days left to buy the damn game. Better get on it. So if it doesn't happen tonight, tomorrow.
So non-con hall.
Non-con, baby. Let's go.
That's not a good thing. Non-con is like the non-consensual romance series. My non-convention hall. I already showed the rest of my recent IST stuff last night, but I didn't show the manga. But I got that second Lupin hardcover, thick as thieves, from Seven Seas. And then I got the hardcover edition of everyone's favorite Inio Asano book, A Girl in the Shop.
Is it a nice hardcover compared to the original softcover? At least
it is a nice hardcover, but it's also smaller than.
Yeah,
like it's like a standard sized volume of manga. Hold on, let me grab.
I read that story, and even I thought it was a little bit too much. I didn't want to upgrade.
In comparison to a normal like standard volume of manga, it's just a little wider. But it's not. But I think the pages might be a little bigger than the paperback.
Can you show off the spine real quick?
Yeah, hold on. Let me put this out.
I even thought about reviewing the book, but then I'm like, I don't want to talk about the stuff that happens in there. I'm not comfortable doing that. I'll let somebody else tackle it. I didn't love the book, if anybody's wondering.
So this is the entire
it's a full wraparound. Cool. Okay.
So it is a nice looking hardcover.
Yeah. For extreme parental advisory for that book. Okay?
Right. It is a wrapped book. It is 18 plus.
There's a lot of sex in it and nudity. Just a heads up. It's going to offend some people and make a lot of other people uncomfortable. But for an Asano set, you got to have it. So that's why I still have it.
Yeah, and that's I wanted to get the nicer one. Yeah. Just to, for the Asano set, as you said.
H Field is ready for spooky book reviewing. I promise you, we're gonna tackle that.
Yeah, we'll have a lot, and I'm sure it'll be if we do multiple like spooky book shows. I know Colleen has a lot of books as well to talk about. But so we'll have a lot of like diversity in the stuff that we cover. You know what?
I found out, and I forgot to tell you, and I'm really pissed off. The Art of Shigeru Mizuki book got delayed for 2024.
Oh, damn.
For, I think, May of next year.
Jesus, not even like the beginning of the year.
No, yeah. I'm looking through my pre-orders and I noticed that. I'm like, wait, what? 2024? What's happening? And yeah, it got pushed back. Sons of bitches. I really wanted that book.
I'm gonna put my stuff back on the shelf, but also like conserve space as much as I can.
Yeah. Also, this month we got Cat Eye Boy. So, at least for the spooky book reviewing on this show, Omnibros, I can talk about Cat Eye Boy because that's sort of yokai-esque.
Yeah.
I can bring that to the table and geek out about yokai.
Yeah, I got my copy is on the way.
Nice. The cover and title could have fooled me. I thought it was about a girl having a fun time. She's having a fun time doing other stuff, supposedly. Not necessarily at the beach. Cleveland Brown. Hi, all. Don't mind me just petitioning for an English adaptation for Kingdom. Nice. Also, Riley, the stream that we did 2 weeks ago got bombarded with dislikes from the Kingdom community. I joked about it last week. We got a ton of dislikes compared to the usual ones, which is like 1 or 2. This had like, I think, close to 10. I'm like, what the hell happened? Oh, I think I know what happened. We talked about the Kingdom stuff. Which is okay. They still watch the show. I thank them for it.
That's like the only thing I allow myself to be an actual hater about. Like when I'm a hater of Kaiba, I feel like it's pretty obviously a joke. Like it's very obviously I'm like I think Kaiba is an asshole, but it's
part of it's a joke shtick. Yeah, you know.
But like Kingdom's the only thing that I will allow myself to actually be a real hater about. Mostly because it's funny. Like it's funny, like how tushy tussled Kingdom people get.
Yeah. Let me get this news item out of the way. The Harvey Awards got announced.
All right.
And it does have a manga category, so I just wanted to point that out real quick for everybody. If you guys don't know, shout out to ICV2, friends of the show. You can see here books of the year, all that fun stuff, digital book of the year, whatever, children's book. I don't care about no children's book. I'm not a child. Anyways, best manga. We got the category here. We got Cat Plus Gamer by Wataru Nadatani from Dark Horse. You got Chainsaw Man from Fujimoto by Viz Media. Goodbye, Eddie. This is kind of I mean, I get it that it's 2 different books, but just nominate one Fujimoto series, please.
Right.
Fujimoto, Viz Media. Shuna's Journey by Hayao Miyazaki. I'm sure he's thrilled about that. From First Second, and Spy Family, Tatsuya Endo from Viz Media. Pretty wacky list. I don't think Chainsaw Man should have been there because it's been forever since that book came out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, was the last volume even from this year? I'm pretty sure it was last year.
No, last year. Yeah. It's at this point it's old news. I get it that it's still popular. The anime was popular too. The second set of stories or whatever are being published, but like, come on, man, nominate something else other than Viz Media books. Ton of publishers out there. Spy Family, I get it, and Shuna's Journey, whatever. Yeah, at least I love Junji Ito, but at least he's not in this category because the Eisners have a thing for Ito books, but at least not here. I'll be honest, I'm rooting for Cat Gamer because it's different. I want that to win. Sorry, everybody else. And I think that's it, right? International book. Alice on the Run. That's not a... Oh. Tiki Blacks. Hey, Black Set. No, everything else is just comics. All right. So there you go. Harvey Awards. When are the Harvey Awards? I don't know. So stay tuned to social media. Yay. How do I close this? There we go. Okay, let's see. What else do I got here?
Well, I also forgot to show you that this guy came in.
Hey, I know about that. I recommended that to you.
Yeah. I got it like right after you sent me the link. I was like, hell yeah, because it's only like $12 or something.
Very rarely do you see merch for Cromartie High School. So we got one manga license announcement, and it is from Titan Manga. They have licensed. Get ready, folks. This is gonna blow your minds. Shout out to Anime News Network, friends of the show. They licensed Grace Rosa from Himuro. Real name Kinoko Higurashi, but the pen name is Himuro. Grace Rosa is an assassin driven by a single thing: discovering the secret of her adoptive father's disappearance. He trained her to become a lethal killing machine, able to wield any weapon she can get her hands on, before inducting her into the ranks of the shadowy organization known as Alterna. But could the very people she serves as a hired gun have something to do with him vanishing? And to what lengths will she go to enact her vengeance on the people who have wronged her? First and only compiled book volume shipped in Japan October 2020. So now we're getting, I assume, that one single volume in 2023. So have you heard of this before? Grace Rosa.
I will check it out though. It sounds fun.
I don't know the author, to be honest.
Yeah, I hadn't heard it either, and like I, for a second, thought it was what's his name, Samura, Hiroaki Samura, and I was like, a Samura series I haven't heard of, huh?
Grace Rosa, 2020 manga. Oh, wait a minute, hold on, it ended. My bad, folks. It's only 6 chapters, so it's a one-off. Started April 2020, ended September 2020. And what did I say the pen name was? Himuro. And she is a lady. Himuro has written a bunch of stuff I have no idea about. Hitori Shizuka, Monkurocho, Umeno, a lot of Japanese titles, sorry. But that's interesting. Let's see, moving right along with the news. Before we do the first impressions, I thought this was pretty noteworthy before we talk about Black Clover, which caused some waves, some news waves on the Twitter. Shonen magazine Edge is ending publication. So we typically talk about books that are ending. This is the whole magazine that's ending. I thought that was interesting. The official website for Kodansha's Shonen magazine Edge announced on Thursday that it will end publication with the November issue on October 17th. Some works will move to other publications, including Kodansha's magazine Pocket app. Magazine's November issue will reveal the fates of currently serialized titles. That sounds like draft picks from sports teams. Like, to find out the fate of your favorite book, you're going to have to buy the November issue. Kodansha, the magazine publishes manga such as Shaman King, Hypnosis Mike, Otaku Elf, which I love, Bless, My Dear Friend Nokotan. I got reincarnated in a BL world of big man boobs, which got a US announcement a couple months ago.
Yep.
Yeah, and the magazine launched in September 2015 with Shaman King creator Takei debuted in the manga as the first issue. That's interesting. So I don't know. Thoughts on this?
My only thought was the curiosity of where each book is going to go, because that is what happens whenever magazines end. That some things continue, some things don't.
Here's the official press release, just so everybody believes us. Not that they would question us, just saying, But yeah, rest in peace, Shonen Magazine Edge. You were edgy. Unfortunately, not edgy enough to survive. So yeah.
And then the biggie was Black Clover.
Yeah, talk to me about that.
So yeah, I'll pull up the actual what he said about it, but in the newest chapter of Black Clover, apparently after the end of the chapter, Tabata made a statement saying the following. As the serialization of Black Clover has been going on for a long time, the increasing demands of the schedule for a weekly serialization has been clashing more and more with my own situation as a manga author. Therefore, I've been discussing this with the editorial department for a while, and this time we have decided to transfer the serialization to Jump Giga, which is a seasonal magazine. It's a sudden move, and it might have surprised the readers. I would like to apologize for not being able to finish the serialization in Weekly Shonen Jump. However, with Giga, I believe I can proceed with the climax of Black Clover in a more optimal condition, aligning with my personal situation as a writer. There are still quite a few stories I'd like to draw that I must draw, so please look forward to them. I'll do my best to bring Black Clover to a successful conclusion. While this may need a bit of your patience, I will definitely power up in the upcoming winter issue of Giga, so I would be grateful if you could keep an eye on Asta and everyone else's future. Thank you very much for your continued support. So that's what he had to say. Like I said, Jump Giga is a seasonal magazine, so that means we're only going to have 4 chapters
right? Yeah.
every year. He hasn't confirmed how long those chapters will be. Usually in those types of magazines, they're longer, like 40 to 60 pages. But that's not a confirmation that each of his chapters of Black Clover will be that long. So we'll see what happens with that. Winter issue, I'm not absolutely sure when the winter issue goes on sale. I haven't looked into it. But I believe that previous chapter was the last chapter in Weekly Jump. I believe. I could be wrong on that, but I think it is. But people have been like, number one, we had been told before that it was heading into its final arc, that the end was not too far from now. Number two, recently there were assets discovered on like a Shonen Jump website where like they had all of the characters in the series in the magazine. Like
and Asta was blurred out, right, or taken out.
There was 2 versions. One of them had Asta, and then another one didn't have Asta.
Okay.
People had assumed, is the series about to end? Like, are they about to end the series? But it was, the series is moving out of Weekly Jump, so not quite ending. Who knows how long it'll take before he actually wraps it up. Reasons for stuff being health issues, and I heard someone else talk about the fact that his wife is in the hospital, and that might be part of why he needs to get on a different schedule.
Yeah.
But we've talked about it here before. Everyone's talked about it before. Like, people working, like the manga industry in general, but Weekly Shonen Jump in particular is so harsh of an environment for their characters. And they're getting better because you see a little bit more leeway with like he got 3 months off or something recently.
I think so. 3 or 4 months. Yeah.
Yeah, there was an extended period where the series was out of the magazine. So they're getting a little bit better with some leeway, allowing authors to take time off, to take breaks. Horikoshi's taken breaks. Akutami has taken breaks. Oda is on like a schedule where he takes a week off at least once a month, and he also had like a 4 to 6 week break recently. So they're getting a lot more lenient with that, and I'm glad that they had the discussion. That Tabata had a discussion with editorial team to like allow him to do something else instead of rushing an ending like so many other titles have had happen in the past. For instance, like Bleach had a rushed ending. I think Kubo was in very poor health by the end of it, and like they had to wrap it up. So regardless of individual feelings about the series itself, about Black Clover, it bodes well for like the way that editorial teams are going to work with their creators, and I hope that this continues. It sucks that it's a necessity, but I think that as we go forward, if they continue to be more lenient on this, we should see less and less creators having health issues.
That's good.
I'm not saying that other publishers are perfect, but like I know at Kodansha, for instance, like they let the creators do whatever they need to do. Like they're like, you need time, take time. Like it's not as cutthroat for them.
Javier is a huge fan of Black Clover, my favorite series of all time. The hate the mangaka was getting on Twitter made me upset because he's been working weekly serialization for almost a decade. His health is priority. That's true.
Yeah, and there's a ton of people on Twitter who were like talking about his yeah, exactly, saying it's a flop. They were talking about how it's it's bad and it got canceled, he got fired, he lost his job, like all this different stuff, like comparing to other series and being like, that's why this is best, that's why this is best. And like, I'm not the biggest Black Clover fan. I like Black Clover well enough. I think it's a really fun series. But like, regardless, even if it was a series I didn't like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not something to celebrate. Like, to celebrate the fact that someone had to like make adjustments due to health conditions like that.
Yeah.
No, like, even if it was some series that I'd hated, I would be like, let's, this says a lot about the state of the industry. Let's not let that happen. And I got one comment. I made a TikTok about it to give people all of that news and to read that statement, because I knew that most people, if they're talking about it on TikTok, are probably just saying Black Clover got canceled or something like that, like not giving the full info. And so I laid it all out just like I did here, except it was only about 4 minutes is how long I took to say it. And then I got a few stupid comments, but one of them was like, this is why I only respect Oda or something like that. And I said,
oh my God.
I literally responded, if Oda were to see that sentiment, he would decline all of your respect. Like, the creators in the magazine, like, are like often friends and at the very least respect each other. Like, they're not competing in the ways that like the fans do.
Who can write the fastest chapters without falling to sickness. So
I was like, that's such a stupid comment to make. Like, and then someone else said something about like someone commented, I wonder why he didn't move to Oda's schedule, like 3 weeks on, 1 week off or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, since they said that it was a long conversation with editorial, I would imagine that like this is what they came to as like what's
best for him.
Yeah. Exactly, best for him, what he's capable of doing. And someone came in there and said like, because Oda's schedule is insane. And I was like, no, it's not. He takes a week off.
Yeah.
What do you? And the guy was like, but doesn't he sleep like only 3 hours a night? I was like, yeah, because of sleep deprivation. Like, it's not anything to do with like, it's not like he goes to sleep and sets an alarm for 3 hours. I have sleep deprivation. Like, I cannot sleep longer than about 5 hours before I wake up, and it sucks. It's the same thing. Like, I explained that. I was like, he has sleep deprivation. It's not his work schedule. He has no trouble falling asleep, but he cannot stay asleep.
Yeah. Even Fujimoto recently has talked about wanting to be just a writer, not an artist. That's tough to do both and weekly.
Yeah, I saw that as well, and it's wild. People get so, I don't know, the culture around a lot of these series, especially shonen manga, like, is so crazy. And the thing that's like dumb is a lot of these guys, like the shonen guys that make these statements where they're like, oh, so and so works so much that he does this, that, and this. But then at the same time, they're the guys that'll praise like the typically praised seinen titles, where the creators are doing like 30 to 40 pages every month, which is like half, if not less, of the work. So like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like the balance is not there in like what you're praising and stuff.
Yeah. Oh well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, best of luck, best of health to Tabata, and
I think
wraps up
my prediction. We're only getting 4 chapters a year. Yeah. I think the series will wrap up in 2 years. If you're only going to do 8 more chapters, and hopefully they're a little bit longer, and he's, the story's on its way out, so it doesn't. I don't think it should bother the fandom as much as it did. At least we're you're going to get more work. It's not like he's retiring and the story's going to be left unfinished. I think it's a good thing. So people need to calm down a bit.
It's also not like absolutely beheld to be in Jump Giga forever. Like Gintama did the same move. It went from weekly to Giga, and then after not even a year, I think it went from Giga to its own app, and
Yeah.
it wrapped up on its own app, a Gintama app. So like it's moving to Giga. It might move to Giga for the rest of the series lifespan, but it could also move to something else.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? Maybe once he gets kind of like situated, he'll move to monthly Jump or something, Jump Square, whatever.
Oh yeah.
I don't even think Square is around anymore. I don't remember.
Give me 1 second here. Okay, got it. Yeah. Let's see what happens. So the next thing on the docket here, there's a new manga coming out, which is the main focus, I guess, for this video. It's called History's Mentalist, and I went in absolutely blind. It came out a few days ago. You can read it on the Manga Plus website, and only one chapter out, but I wanted to talk about it. It is written by, I kid you not, Tomato Tori. That's the name of the creator. Tomato Tori, and art by Natsuko Uruma. Tomato has done very little work. My Oni-chan and Oshito Tomo ni Ikiru. Never heard of those. And the artist, Natsuko Uruma, worked on the Persona 5, one of the Persona 5 manga. Can't Stop Cursing You, and what the heck is this? I think I've heard of this manga before. Gokuto Jihen Koshiki Anthology, whatever that is. So not a whole lot. So the best way I can describe History's Mentalist. Let me read the description because it's pretty wild. I don't think it's going to be a series for everybody, but there is potential there to be something unique. In this story, it's set in modern times, 2021 COVID era, and that's a huge part of the manga because the protagonist is a grad student, Sakutaro, and he is in quarantine in his apartment building. His girlfriend left him, and he's been depressed for a couple months. And all of a sudden, he gets a visit from this weird young individual who claims to be one of Buddha's assistants. And he is a mentalist, and he has with him a historical figure from Japanese history. I forget which era, samurai. And that character is severely depressed and cannot pass on in life and reach nirvana because of his mental state. So apparently this kid can read what everybody writes, which is scary, that all your essays about cringy stuff can be read from beyond in the afterlife, if you will. That would be something weird. And he crazy hijinks ensue, and he gives the samurai person to the main character to see if he can help him cure his depression or lift his spirits up so that he can try and ascend. So the majority of the first chapter is about that shock, and they're stuck in their house, not much to do. They can't go outside. The news is pretty grim, just like in real life. And the one shiny thing about this manga is the art, which is really good. I really enjoyed it and made me want to keep going. I love the historical aspect to it, that they're talking about Japanese history. That might put some people off because not everybody in the West is knowledgeable about that stuff. And it's a lot of names and stuff that if you're not a nerd about Japanese history, you might not understand. But the fact that it's talking about it involves an era that we are all still living in, and COVID and all that stuff, I think could make it a universal thing that people might want to check out. I like the idea that it's about improving mental health for not just historical characters, but for the main character, because you find out that he's not a bad guy, but his state of his personality led to his relationship's downfall. So, yeah, pretty wacky story. I think it has potential. Hopefully, people do check it out. Let me show you some of the art here. I'm gonna go into Manga Plus. I think I can show the art. Should be fine. It's not like we're playing the music from Cowboy Bebop from last episode, but whatever. Let me show you some of the art here. August 2021 is when the story is set. I do love the character designs for this. I like that he says right here, a year and a half has passed since my girlfriend I was living with left. The seasons have changed and the world has changed drastically due to COVID. The only thing that hasn't changed is me. I thought that was a pretty bold way to start your manga. So you can see here, here's the character that I told you about, the Mentalist. And the first historical figure is the Heian period's genius military commander, Minamoto no Yoshitsune-san. That's the character. He was, as you can see here in the word bubble, he was instrumental in the defeat of the Heike clan. So if you know your history, that's a pretty infamous era of feudal Japan. Here's a colored page. So if the main guy does his job, he's going to become history's mentalist, hence the name of the manga. So, yeah, that's all I got. Only one chapter. I'll keep reading and come back and talk a little bit more about it later on. But interesting. I dig this kind of stuff. It's up my wheelhouse. So, yeah. The art for History's Mentalist does seem cute, though. I did enjoy the art. I have not fully engraved the story yet, which free series have a truly engrossing first chapter. Oh, embraced. There you go. What does it mean to be History's Mentalist? I thought they were going to go in a different route. I didn't associate the helping somebody's mental health as being a mentalist. I thought it was about like the Mentalist show from CBS or whatever it was. I was expecting something completely different. So yeah, at the end, slight spoilers. He's getting another patient, if you will, to help out. So I don't know. Is that something you would check out in the future?
Yeah, I think it sounds good.
Also, I gotta go back to the author, Tomato Tori. That's awesome. I wish more mangaka would name themselves after fruit and vegetables. CBS, I got it right. Yes, based on the hit CBS series. There you go. But what about you? Have you read anything recently that you want to talk about with the peeps?
Let's see what I've got.
Oh, by the way, as you reach for that book, I talked about it on Monday, but the rest of the Omnibros did not care. I finished Welcome Back Alice from Oshimi.
Yeah.
And I hate to say this, I was really disappointed by that book.
Dang.
I think by chapter 25, 30 or something, it was only 40 chapters, folks. It started going downhill for me, and the end, it's not bad. But you know that this was rushed to hell. Like the last 5 chapters or so, that should have been, and I talked about it on Monday, that should have been like easily 13, 20 more chapters in my personal take. But it just wrapped up so quickly and very uninteresting. I thought Oshimi could have done so much more. Whereas Blood on the Tracks, I am up to date with that as well. And I think that has gone on for way too long. And I think it's about time to wrap that sucker up. Something happened in the last chapter that makes me think we're going to get an announcement soon. So yeah, but wrap it up. I think I was gonna love Welcome Back Alice and dislike Blood on the Tracks, but I don't know.
I completely forgot that I also picked these up at that con. You're Under Arrest, volumes 1 and 2.
Ooh, I
Classic.
don't think I don't think I've seen that. What is that?
It's an older Dark Horse manga series. It was not fully published in English,
Hmm.
but it usually goes for not super high, but at least higher than this. He was just selling it for cover price. Um, it's about cop ladies. Miyuki and Natsumi are two stunningly beautiful policewomen who are at heart a couple of girls who just want to have fun. When they're not getting themselves into wacky situations, they're busy trying to lock up the panty bandit, solve the country club counterfeit crime, and just plain enforce the law. They're part Cagney and Lacey, part Thelma and Louise, part Barbie and Skipper. They're babes with badges.
There you go. Sounds interesting. Sounds pretty wacky, I should say.
Yes. So I've got some of the stuff that I've read recently, just a few that I think were a little notable. This one notable because it was bad. Game of Familia. This is a new one from
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
I before the first chapter even ended, I got to a certain point where I was like, I was about to put it down. I was like, no, absolutely not. And then I was like, I'm gonna keep going. And then I got to another part in the first chapter. I don't think I made it to the end of the first chapter because it's a longer, like probably like 60 pages for the first. Hold on. Yeah, the first chapter is like 60 pages. I don't think I even made it to page 60. But
Wow.
the like the issues that Goblin Slayer have, this has like tenfold.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, so like right at the beginning, and it's funny because like at the first few pages, I was like, oh, I like this idea. It's Game of Familia because it's like a guy and his stepmom and stepsisters all get sucked into another world together, and I thought that was pretty fun to have not just one person but a whole family together. But the like within the first several pages, all of a sudden these like monsters start popping up and start like ripping the clothes off the girls and like doing things. And I was like, what? And that's the point where I was like, what the? And I almost put it down and I was like, okay, let me just get past this scene and see what happens. And then the big bad lady comes and she's like, yeah, so these are hold on, what are they called?
Jaime says Game of Familia gets wild, pure degenerate.
The She says whatever they are, they're like undead basically, and she says they are obsessed with with R word people, like R wording people. And I was like, no. Yeah, they have a taste for R word and mass murder. They're undead. The dead males is what they're called, dead males. So I was like, okay, now you're telling me that literally like the main monster or whatever in this is just a bunch of things that just do. I was like, no, it's just gratuitous for the sake of it, and I just can't. I was like, no, absolutely not, no way, no way.
I would imagine it would get an anime because there's a lot of people out there that unfortunately are like super into that stuff.
You probably will, and it will honestly, it'll probably be like really censored, and then people will start being like, oh, but the manga is not, and it's like, you really want to read that? Like anyway, then I read Secrets of the Silent Witch, and I'm very sad to say I didn't really dig it.
Oh, I was looking forward to that.
I love the concept, but it was just kind of boring. Like I wanted it. It didn't really spend much time focusing on the witch herself. I was so excited to check it out finally, and I was trying to think about like, I'll make a video about it to like get people pumped up for it. And I was gonna say something like, what if Komi can't communicate was a witch? Shoko Komi was a witch because she has the issues with communication and stuff. She's shy. She doesn't want to talk to people. And so I was gonna try to do something like that. And I was thinking we're gonna get a lot more focus on the main character, the witch girl, but it didn't give enough to her, and I don't know, it just wasn't for me, unfortunately. I was really excited to give it a chance. I only read the first chapter and was like, no, it's not going to be for me. this is not a new one, but Shadow's House, this is volume 4. This
Mm.
series gets better and better and better with every volume.
Nice.
And this volume was super good and like really expanded on the world of the series. So I'm really excited to keep reading this one. And then I need to grab the others from another shelf.
Yeah.
And I have them on. But there's 2 more yen ones that I was really impressed with.
Jaime says, I thought it would be shy, but with magic instead of heroes. I read the description. I thought it was going to be sweet. That was one of my most anticipated for the month, I think. I put it in my video. I'm not too sure. But that's a bummer. I love the Shadows House anime. I didn't realize it's coming out in English now. I wanted to check out the anime, but I had so much on my plate that I had to leave it behind. And I just forgot to watch it. Same with
so maybe try the Silent Witch out yourself to see how you feel about it, but it wasn't for me. And it wasn't like it's not like Game of Familia where I'm like, this shit's offensive, like this is bad. But it was, it was what it was. This one I haven't finished these 2 volumes yet, but I'm going to get back to them soon. This one I had no idea anything about it, The Witch's Marriage.
Oh yeah, I like that. I want to read that at some point.
This one has a really cute start.
Yeah.
I really like the way I read the first like 3 or so chapters, because it's one of those that has really short, like 10-page chapters. And for anyone who's unfamiliar with it, basically the main character, the taller, older looking witch lady, her name is what's her name? Melissa. And basically says
English name.
For witches, love is power, and to open the door of truth, the ultimate goal for any spellcaster, Melissa needs to forge the strongest bonds she can. By now, she's perfected her routine. Marry a naive witch, use her to gain power, and discard her afterwards. Melissa's next target is Tanya, a young girl who's fascinated by magic and longs to follow in her new mentor's footsteps. But Tanya has a charm unlike Melissa's other brides, and her pure, innocent cuteness just might be enough to melt the ice-cold witch's heart. It's such a cute concept. So, like, she's trying to use the younger witch, but the younger witch is just like, she's too cute, and like, and I don't know, it just makes for a good kind of like juxtaposition of the 2 characters. And then this one was a really cute first chapter. And I made a video about it for TikTok that has like 130, 140,000 views at this point.
That one blew up.
Yeah, it took off, and I tagged Yen Press on Twitter to be like, send it back to print, y'all. So this is I Don't Know Which Is Love. This is the one where she's got the people.
She's Thanos.
She got the infinity infinity on nails.
Yep.
So this one, the idea here is that she is about to graduate high school, and she decides in the last days, I'm going to confess my feelings to my best friend. And her best friend is like, sorry, but I am actually I have a boyfriend. Like, I'm not into girls. I'm like, and then she's like, oh no, I'm crushed. And then she goes, you know what? I'm starting college soon. I'm not going to let this bother me, because once I get into college, there's going to be, I'm going to get a girlfriend. Absolutely going to get a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And so she starts college, and I would not call her a gyaru at all. Like, she's pretty, like, she does dye her hair blonde, but that's like the only thing that you could make that connection with. But yeah, she goes to college, and immediately she meets a girl who takes interest in her, and she's like, oh my God, this girl is amazing. She's beautiful. I'm in love with her. And then like they go in somewhere else, and then I think it's like one of the professors starts flirting with her, and she's like, oh my God, she's so hot. I'm in love with her. Please, mommy, I want to be with you. Like, she calls her mommy. And then it's like, it happens again and again and again. There's 5 different girls that all start like having interest in her. And she's just, I don't know who to pick. I don't know which is love. So it's a lesbian harem manga, but they're all adults. Like, they're all 18 years or older.
That's super refreshing. Yes, please.
Like, that combination, a GL harem of the adults, is very rare. So
yeah, you don't see that often.
everyone commented whenever I made the video was like, they're adults? What? Like people were super excited to know that it wasn't kids.
That's why, I mean, I'm not comparing the two. Please don't make that assumption. That's why when I first started reading Rent a Girlfriend, I thought that was fun because it's in college and they're adults. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So I dig it because I'm typically not a fan of school romances and all that stuff. But I thought that was different. Same with this.
The thing was funny, like seeing all those comments. There was people who were like, excited that it was adults. And then there was like this one person who was like, you can still enjoy a romance even if it's not about adults. Some of it's really mature or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but you can also want to read about adults instead of kids.
Exactly. Yeah. Yaru stuff, but don't want it oversaturated. This sounds like a refreshing rom-com and not what I thought from the cover.
Yeah, no, it's very cute. It is super adorable. The first shot, like the way she reacts to everyone. First of all, I really like kind of her spunkiness, like after getting let down, and she's just like, you know what? No, I'm going to college. I'm going to get a girlfriend. And then like the way that she goes in, and it's very like just refreshingly not gross about it, where she goes in and it's very much not like, it doesn't feel like it's written for like the horny male audience. Like it's not for a male gaze. It feels like it's written just to be a cute rom-com series that like anyone can enjoy.
Bean Queenie, thank you for joining. As the unofficial light novel representative, the Secrets of the Silent Witch light novel also takes a while for it to focus more on the Silent Witch. It is cute, but takes a while to get places.
We're gonna have to have like a light novel Queenie segment each month.
Absolutely. Bean Queenie, if you got some light novels you think the crew here would enjoy, let us know. In the not the chat, the comment section, sorry.
We'll turn that unofficial official.
Yes, absolutely. Let's see. Any other reads?
I mean, I've been reading a ton, but those are the ones I wanted to highlight.
Okay, perfect. Real quick. Wait a minute. Yeah, I do have it here. This is totally random. This is the last thing I'm going to share. I literally just found out about this as I was doing the show just now, and I'm very excited. This is one of my all-time favorite franchises, so you'll understand in a couple seconds when I highlight it, but we're finally getting a brand new adaptation, a new anime for Gegege no Kitaro, and this is pretty wild. It's getting a new anime called Gegege no Kitaro Kappa no Terraforming. It's going to be screened at planetariums and science museums across Japan, and I am extremely jealous. So this is part of the 100-year birthday celebration for Shigeru Mizuki. Rest in peace. And as you are seeing it here, they're sending a Kappa to Mars to terraform that planet. I don't know how the hell that's going to happen because the Kappa needs water. If not, it's going to dry up and die. So I'm interested to see what happens in here. Let's see if there's an official description here. Story follows Jackson employee Sora and Kappa Kasuke, who dream of going to space. Yamamoto aims to make the Kappa an astronaut who can terraform Mars. I want to see this. You guys might think I'm crazy, but I'm a huge fan of yokai and Kitaro, so I need to watch this somehow. Hopefully somebody over there decides to rip it online. I said it. Go ahead, sue me. Who publishes this? Toei Animation. But yeah, Kappa's in space. Let's go. That's the thing now.
It's like Pigs in Space from the Muppets, but it's Kappa.
Yeah.
Kappa's in space.
You grow peppers instead of potatoes. I wonder. Also, the what's it called? The Shirokodama. I think that's the proper name. I probably butchered it. Is he gonna where he needs that to fuel his life force essence? Are there going to be any butts for him to grope? I don't know. That's the thing kappas do. So don't get too weirded out, chat. They steal your secret gem from inside your butt. It's wild. Yokai are wild. That's why I love them. All right. On that positive note about butts and groping, we're gonna end the stream. Thank you everybody for joining. Let me remind everybody that this show is sponsored by the fine folks at In Stock Trades, your go-to destination for collected editions. You get your omnibus, trade paperbacks, hardcovers, manga, and so much more with great deals that range from 42 to 50, sometimes 60% off. If you make an order of $50 or more, you get free shipping. And if you order on a week-by-week basis, you get that loyalty discount that adds an extra 2% to your order. Fantastic customer service, wonderful packaging. That's InStockTrades.com, the official sponsor of Omnibroslive here on the Omnibus Collectors Network. Shout out to our sponsor, In Stock Trades. Before I go, I mentioned this when I was showing off the art book. I found out that next to my work stations, a new library opened up, / bakery or whatever. I don't know. I don't socialize a lot. My life is pretty boring. I'm a simple guy. But one of my coworkers went there to buy a regular book, a boring book, and said, hey, they got some of them anime manga things you like. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I looked up the place online. I saw a video. So a friend of mine posted a video. They got a huge section of manga, like a full library, like Barnes & Noble style. I'm like, I don't know. I might venture on there to see what I can find. So if I don't go tomorrow, we'll see what happens next week. So I'm gonna make a trip to a bookstore. That's weird.
Nice.
I don't get that a lot over here, so I got to celebrate that. So I'm gonna track it down. But from what I saw in the video, they got all the new stuff, like your Kodansha Omnis, and I saw the Square Enix hardcovers, all the modern stuff. So I'm excited to check it out.
Neato.
Thank you, everybody in the chat. You guys are lovely as always. I'm not going to highlight that comment just in case, but I really enjoyed that one, Cleveland Brown. William T. Dustis, where can people find you on the internet when you're not here with us?
Omnibus Collector, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, and Omni Collector on Twitter. This season, I'm more active on TikTok, so if you want to see me just fucking around.
I love that.
Yeah, I go, every season, it's like, I'm more active here, I'm more active here, I'm more active here. But I figured out what the TikTok algorithm wants right now, so I'm playing around with it a lot more.
That's awesome. I'm happy for you. So everybody do that. You can find my channel. That's Manga Geekdom. It's pretty exciting. I finally crossed the 3K mark. That's cool. And I decided to post again on TikTok too, because why the hell not? So if you want to hear me talk about yokai,
who wouldn't?
Yeah, right. Thank you. Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's it. Don't expect videos any other dates because I'm busy with stuff. I'm trying to make a schedule for everything in my life. So TikTok Tuesdays, that's going to be a thing. So you can follow me there. That's Creature Gaiden on TikTok. You can follow me there and we can talk about yokai. If not, you can follow me on Threads, Instagram, and Twitter, just Manga Geekdom, and we can chat about manga and all that other fun stuff that's out there on the news. That's going to be it for now. Thank you to the lovely people in the chat. We love you guys. Thank you so much for making these streams a lot of fun for us. Anybody watching later, let us know in the comment section what you thought of the video. I appreciate that and look forward to that as well. Thank you to our sponsor, and thank you to everybody out there in the world. Have a safe night. Have a great weekend, and we'll be back Monday for more Omnibros Live here on the Omnibus Collectors Network. Until next time, bye-bye. So long.